Hi everybody. So this is our third time doing this interview because the computers are not working, but we're gonna make it work this time. So today here with me is my former client Migle, and she's kind enough to share her story with us. So Migle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Elisa.
So please share a little bit about your background story and how the eating disorder started for you.
So my eating disorder started when I was really little, in my first grade. I had a problem with overeating, being overweight. So every bully that I got increased my wish to lose weight. And when I was like 14, I've started working out a lot in the gym. I've started eating less and less. And of course, working out more and eating less developed me anorexia nervosa, and I've lived with it like for 5 years. And well, the first help that I got was in Lithuania in this eating disorder hospital where I've spent 2 months. And there I didn't really get well, uh, because they were trying to search for some psychological problem in me, even though I didn't have one. And that developed depression in me. And when I got home after 2 months, I had to go back there, but I've started looking for other help. And that was meditation, being mindful, and religion stuff. Well, those things were quite uh, different from what I've started with, but they helped me to just stay alive and just to try looking for other help. Um, After that, I relapsed, and just with that relapse, I couldn't give up, and I've started Googling, and I just found a mini mod method, which, as you know, is eating over 3,000 calories and staying sedentary. Well, I've just searched for all the symptoms, and I constantly kept assuring myself that I am really anorexic. And well, it wasn't easy for me because I had this problem for counting calories, even though I still counted them for just reaching 3,000 calories each day. And the thing was that I reached the 3,000, but I didn't go above them, even though the main point was going above them, not being scared of them and just being free. Well, even though I was dishonest with myself, that I uplifted my calories, I actually got to see what life is. I got my period back. I was happy. I was just seeing how I can be happy with the food, with my body becoming healthy again. And I just kept few months like really up and alive, but I relapsed again, and this just continued for a half year or something like that. I can't really remember. But after that, I just got enough courage to text Elisa, even though I wasn't the right age to work with her. But with Elisa, I got this just, I don't know, I felt that I had to do this not only in front of myself but in front of her. Maybe that was the first thing that came up to me. I had to do this for her, that she would think something good of me. But that was kind of wrong, because after working with her, the thing that came up to my mind, that I had to do this just for myself and just in front of myself. I had to lose lying for myself. So after working with Elisa, I was on this pretty respective path of way to actually reaching for that full recovery. But I left my hometown. I went to London, and of course, this is kind of stressful thing to do, just to leave young girl to this huge city. Um, Back then, I started like walking again a lot, and that stress of saving up the money and just saving the money for my home and something like that, I didn't eat a lot again. So I had this maybe tiny relapse from the side, but inside me it was like a huge revolution. It was my last relapse, and what has changed since then? I'm not lying to myself again about the foods. I recognize what is something from eating disorder past, and what is just hormonal thing in my in me. Well, since then I'm completely free, and I just respect every little maybe negative thought about myself in me, because I just realize I'm a human. So my story is still continuing because I'm just staying
Mm-hmm.
alive and free from eating disorder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but now going a little bit back, like what you said, that like the previous treatments that you went through weren't as helpful. So what would you say was the difference between those treatments and the work we did together?
So those treatments, like in hospital, they actually were based on psychology, and we used to have those group chats where we try to just remember our lives, and maybe someone's mother was abusive with father or alcoholics or something like that. But it wasn't my case. I had completely good relationship with my family. I was a happy kiddo, and I was active and all that. So the thing is that when I was growing my weight back there, they weren't telling me what is happening with me. I didn't know what are the liquids in body. I didn't know that it's important to eat whatever you want whenever you want. They wouldn't let me to eat candies when they don't let you, like when isn't the right time for them. So you had the rules there when you actually wanted to lose rules
Mm-hmm.
about around the foods around your body. um, so that was very different from what we talked with you, Elisa, because with you it's different. It's just actually listening to your body, what your body is asking for. Maybe sometimes making yourself to eat, because your body can trick you after anorexia. It can, maybe you can feel that you can't eat those 3,000 calories even though you really can.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just stressing you.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is that here we just understand the body as some living creature, and that actually needs some help as a kid to be just took care of. And with another treatment, the body was just a vessel, and everything was in your head. They made you see yourself like you're some psychological wrong creature. So it wasn't good. It didn't help you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So with you it was
Yeah.
about your loving yourself and taking care of yourself as a kid.
Yeah, it's very interesting because, like, definitely many people can have those psychological problems, but if this is
Yeah.
like the only thing you're dealing with, then many people miss the important part of you have to stop restriction, you have to just eat, because this is
Yes.
the basic level that has to be covered first. And then if there's any
Yes.
psychological stuff, you're much more able to deal with it because your like your body and brain gets the nourishment first.
Yes, even these days, even if I feel like I'm hungry and I don't have maybe opportunity to eat at the moment, I can feel my mood changing.
Yeah,
And I understand how can they like in the hospital, how can they work with those people when their brain are not okay
exactly.
food first of all. So when you're ill, when you are not nutrition and nourished enough, how can you be like actually conscious and just think about something else but not food? So yeah, the main problem is that first of all we have to just ourselves and make our body happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we
Yeah,
can actually hear what we are thinking
yeah.
clearly.
And also like for somebody to encourage you to eat and not restrict and eat however
Yes.
much you want and whatever you want, because even in the treatments it's like food plan and structured eating,
Yes.
and there is a limit, and if you go a limit then you have a binge eating problem. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. One of my friends from the hospital, she used to have anorexia, and then she got back to them, and they told her that she has bulimia because she was already healthy weight, but she had depression again and problems with eating. So they just put this label on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very wrong. It sets you to those frames.
Yeah.
They told me that I wouldn't get better in 7 years, and that gave me huge frames.
What do you mean, like in 10 years? Like
They told me that scientists all around the world see that people with eating disorders, they get better within 7 years or even more.
mm-hmm.
And they told me that I had this chronic anorexia, which means that I can get better and relapse again over and over again.
Like
So
chronic anorexia.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So how can that actually help me to see it like life positive? Um, so I was just scared of that place.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it said that all around the world there are places like that, and help like this, like your help, it's not so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, how was the recovery process like for you? Like, what was the hardest about recovery, or like
The
when
hard
we worked together?
Well, to me the hardest was not counting calories.
Mm-hmm.
But now these days I even forget the numbers of the products, and that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard just not to feel bad in some old clothes, just those changes in my body. mm, I got used to that small body, small unhealthy body. um, so what helped me, instead of keeping those old clothes, I just threw them away.
Mm-hmm.
I threw all the clothes away, and that just set me free.
Mm-hmm.
um, well, it was hard not to work out and not to walk. Maybe I quit workout, but I was walking a lot. I had a job where I needed to walk, or just stay on my foot. But the time that I actually just got better, I quit working out, and I quit walking, and just now I can completely stay calm as today on sofa and do my studies.
Mm-hmm.
So probably those are the main things that were difficult for me. So just that the changes in my body, calories, and moving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what would you say, for example, like one of the hardest thing people find is to actually make them eat when they don't want to, because like all the fears, everything is screaming back at them. So like what made you to eat even when you had those ingrained habits or the fear? Like what was your motivation that kept you going?
Um, well, the thing is that I was so hungry and I was kind of waiting for the next day to eat, and that was my motivation.
Yeah.
I just listened to my body because, oh my God, there are so many good foods, tasty foods. I just picked up the foods I love from the beginning. Like I love ice cream, so I ate ice cream every day, and I still do eat ice cream a lot. So it was hard to change foods sometimes, but after that what helped me was when my, let's say, family started cooking for me,
Mm-hmm.
just to let someone else to cook for you. It was very scary, but after that you like increase possibility of losing the wish to count the calories and be scared of them. um, I think it's impossible to just lose the fear. It's you have to break those bones. It's like it's
You have to
painful.
do it.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
have to do it. It's nothing else, but you just have to cry and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video where I filmed myself after eating like a ton of chocolate and then crying and telling to myself that I'm just stopping this and I'm releasing myself, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just you can't avoid any pain of it. It's not a perfect path. it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's,
this is
it's
such
just
an
some work.
yeah, this is such an important thing that fear is not going to go away by
Yeah,
itself. Like you actually have to eat yourself through the fear, and then
yeah.
over time the fear will lessen and it will go away.
Yes, it will really go away, and now every day I just tell myself that I couldn't imagine being here where I am now. Like
Mm.
I couldn't
Not
imagine.
even 10 years later.
Yeah,
It was
yes,
last year. Yeah.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And what would you say, like, because we worked together for 3 months, so where were you in like 3 months? Like, what was the progress you made in 3 months?
Well, when we started, I was already really motivated with doing the best I can. But of course, when you face the things that you have to do with it, included with the fear, maybe it's sometimes works maybe slower than you expected. But within those 3 months, I actually lost the scale of like weighing the food. um, I just started to seeing myself at that little girl, which I had to take care of. I was getting back my true vision of myself, even with the thing like body dysmorphia. I could look at my photos, my old photos, and not to be sad that I don't have that body anymore. No, I was sad about going through that. And at the same time, I was respecting my history. I
Mhm.
was just taking those lessons from what I got from that illness. Um, I just became more thankful for myself that I went through it. Uh, that it really happened in those 3 months. And after those 3 months I was constantly using this thing that I every day before my sleep I was telling myself like 10 things that happened in the day that I'm like thankful for. Many of them were like about eating disorders, because of course it took big attention from my life. um, and yes, in those 3 months, maybe this is not actually connected to our calls, but it still led me to being more social
Mhm.
to people, because as I saw in the videos of other people, uh, being antisocial during eating disorder is very very often seen.
Mhm.
And yes, I lost all my friends during eating disorder. So after that, after our work together, I spent amazing summer with many amazing people. and mm, like continuing until now, spending that time. So I just with those 3 months, I became more human than I was for like past 5 years.
Yeah, it's so interesting to notice because like as you said, with the treatments, they focused on the mind and everything.
Yeah.
And in your recovery, yes, we focused a lot of like food and eating and everything, but you talked about so much of your mental change here.
Yes.
So it's kind of like it happens, also when you get enough food,
Yeah.
you can do all this like mental change. Like it's
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah, you can actually take the decisions. I've made so many important decisions after I got recovered, or even better after our work, like huge decisions. And that would never happen if I was still ill, at least a bit. So it's really important to just keep up with your nutrition, and that nutrition doesn't mean that you have to be all healthy either. Healthy is when you just feel happy with your food. So that still helps me every day.
Yeah. And previously you mentioned that after, the coaching and everything, like you felt so much better, but then you had this big life change, right? Like you moved to London and to
Yes.
school, like new environment, and then you had this like relapse. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, that relapse was from stress in a new country. I think I was still lying myself about working out, because, well, I didn't go to the gym there, but I walked like for 5-6 hours every day, and that's a lot. I was eating, but wasn't eating like a true meal. It was all low calorie. I was still looking at calories a lot, like many of those maybe tiny habits from compared to what I had, but they are still there, and they were growing this bigger relapse of myself. And of course, that I recognized it, and I got panicked about it. I got tired of it. And when I realized that I was there alone in London, that really scared me, because here in Lithuania, my family was here, and they would help me, they would support me. But over there in London, I was alone, and I just felt this sense of commitment to myself. I started watching videos of Eliza and Tabitha Farrar again. Like, instead of listening to music, I was constantly listening to your videos.
And you were texting me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yes,
reached out.
Yes, I was just taking the weapons to show myself that my feelings are wrong, that I have to get better again. And I actually brainwashed, but I brainwashed myself to the great side, the better side, not about like wrong side. And that constant just getting that constant floating the information to myself, well, that really changed the view of how I have to help myself. So I've started just being actually honest with myself. I would see if well, today I walked that and that amount of time, and maybe sometimes I would judge myself, but that stopped as well. And just taking that care of myself, like as a kid, again, what we constantly repeated with Eliza, well, that was a big change, because after that I actually released myself from counting calories. I even didn't have the equipment to count that. I just didn't create that environment for myself. I was crying there. I was just in this little room where I had the condition to get better. So that was a big change. And after that, I didn't skip meals, and I didn't, I don't know, push myself to work out. Of course, I had thoughts, bad thoughts. Of course, I had low days, but after that, I just let myself cry and take a new day. So that's important to feel that it's much easier to cry and take a new day than to go back and then take many new days again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important just to feel that seek of how important it is to make yourself go further and trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can't trust yourself without like lying.
Yeah, and it's totally normal that it happens, that when the environment changes, or as you said, like moving to new place and school and
Yeah.
everything, then relapses happen because it's just like so unexpected, right? But actually, like it was the great thing you did, that you got back on track, like you became aware what was happening, and then you
Yes.
got back on track. You seeked out for help and everything, and actually, like would you say it ended up making you even stronger in your recovery, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As I said to you before, it's like a revolution. That
Mhm.
that relapse was a revolution in my life.
Yeah, it was like almost like the universe just handing you another gift to make you
Yes.
more bulletproof for the future,
Yes.
because like future is like full of ups and downs and everything, but
Yes.
as you can see, there are better ways to deal with stress, and you are stronger than the
Yes.
insulter.
Yes. Since then, I actually feel that I'm
Hmm.
free from eating disorders, not only like whisper to others, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I am, but no, I actually feel that in myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a great thing, because I don't want people to feel that they're dependent on treatments or the coaching or I
Yes.
don't know anything. I really want people to feel like independent in themselves. And of course, we can always reach out, ask for help, but it's just like knowing that we have ourselves, and whatever happens, like we will be okay and we can go through it and get to the other side.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we have to be independent. And what happened to me as I was watching all those videos when I was reaching out for you, after some time, I felt that it's enough to watch those videos and just to be on myself,
Mm-hmm.
to just to actually be brave and just be independent. That was really important as well, just to trust myself, to trust my actions. Yeah, that's really necessary, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Because, all those videos and books, like everything can inspire you. And at first it can offer this like reassurance. But if people they can get stuck in needing reassurance
Yes.
always. So
Yes.
it's like good point, like where you have to also start to listen to yourself, follow yourself, not
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah, that's I was the one who actually needed a lot of reassurance, a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah.
it's really so it's possible to lose that. It's
Yeah, that is a great thing.
yeah.
But like, where are you now with your like eating and recovery, and how has life changed for you now?
Well, now I am a really happy human, but that doesn't mean that I don't have bad days,
Mhm.
and I still have those bad days. I had to understand that my bad days aren't only eating disorder days.
Mhm.
No, and for my family, they had to understand that too.
Mhm.
You can't be feared of bad days.
Mhm.
And these days I am free from eating disorder. I work out, but what is really important to me, I'm not scared of working out, because that doesn't fire up a new desire to work out like huge amounts. No, I take days off. I just change the way I move. Like I can take a run, I can walk my dog, or just go take a ride with a bicycle. Everything is so various. Um, well, but my meals, they are so that like colorful.
Mhm.
I see all of that like just fun thing to do, and I like what what has changed that I like cooking, not only for others but for myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
uh, so like today I don't have the fear that the next, like after some like pizza or something like that, that the next day I have to be clean. No,
Mm-hmm.
the next day I still have pancakes
Mm-hmm.
and everything is fine.
Yeah.
um well, that food doesn't make me feel bad. Maybe I feel more, I don't know, sensitive to other people when they say they want to lose weight. Maybe I just feel sad for them because I clearly see that they're, I just ask them if they're, are you happy, or like maybe are you can move or something like that, just to make them sure that they are okay and that they can't follow the things they see in social media or something like that. What else has changed that um, I want to help people, other people who have eating disorder, and I'm not scared of looking at people who have eating disorder, because before me getting better, I used to be scared of seeing other girls or boys with anorexia that would like fire up this, I don't know, sense of maybe missing my body
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. And now I just can see those people and I want to help them. That's important as well. I'm not sensitive to types of bodies. um I'm not sensitive of seeing some lies on social media, or trying like being vegetarian or something like that. I can do both. I can eat meat, I can be
Mm-hmm.
vegetarian, and it's like it is freedom. So now my what is important as well is that now my day and my thoughts in a day, they are not 90% food and body and 10% like other stuff. Now it's 90% other stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
my life, my marriage, my university life and happy things, and then 10% food. And food
Mm-hmm.
is happiness as well. That's the thing about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all of this sounds amazing, and I'm so proud of you, and thank you for sharing your story with us and everything. Is there something, maybe last thing you wanna share with the viewers, or what would you tell them?
Um, I would tell that I just wanted to say that it is necessary to respect what you're going through. It is really helpful to look for others who went through this, who are looking forward to being happy and just reaching for recovery. It's important to surround yourself with people who appreciate life, like not body types or something like that. It's important to appreciate the opportunity you have to just being alive. Um, it really helped me to just going outside and to notice what it is so special about this world. Um, the thing is that you just have to be grateful for yourself. That's important, and honest with yourself. That's another important thing. That maybe that's where you have to begin, actually. Just first of all, be honest with yourself, and you have to understand that no one else is going to do that instead of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very powerful. Like, we can ask help and everything, but it's
Yes.
like at the end of the day, like, you have to do it and take the steps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much. And for the viewers, we're gonna share Migle's socials down below, so you can contact her if you want. Yeah. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you very much. It was nice.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.